The lost symbolism behind the double-headed eagle. Why does the eagle stare in two directions at once? Not toward prey, nor predator, but past and future. Light and shadow. Earth and heaven. For centuries, the double-headed eagle has perched atop the emblems of empires, cloaked in the regalia of secret societies, and etched into the architecture of forgotten temples. Yet its meaning remains shrouded in silence, like a riddle left by the gods, waiting for the right moment to awaken. This is not just a symbol of power. It is a map, a forgotten key, a sigil of transformation that bridges the mortal and the divine. But somewhere along the way, the meaning was lost. Diluted. Hidden behind pomp and ceremony. The eagle became decoration, instead of direction. Tonight, we strip away the illusion. We will journey into the ancient roots of the double-headed eagle, tracing its path through Babylonian sky cults, Byzantine thrones, and Masonic rituals. We will unearth what it truly meant to those who first carved its image into stone, not merely as art, but as invocation. Because this is more than history. This is a living symbol. One that, if properly understood, can awaken something within you, a deeper vision, a forgotten part of your soul that remembers why you came here in the first place. So, ask yourself. Are you ready to see with both eyes? Historical origins and occult roots. The double-headed eagle did not first spread its wings in modern times. Its origin stretches far beyond medieval heraldry or secret lodges. It is a creature born from the oldest dreams of humanity. We begin in ancient Mesopotamia, the cradle of civilization, where sky-watching priests of Sumer and Akkad built ziggurats as stairways to the heavens. To these early mystics, the eagle was not just a bird, it was the divine intermediary. A winged watcher between earth and the gods, whose very flight traced the geometry of the stars. But the double-headed eagle? That was something far more rare. Among the Sumerians and Hittites, twin-headed birds appear not as animals, but as celestial guardians. Each head gazes in an opposite direction, one to the rising sun, the other to its setting. This was no accident. The two heads symbolized a deeper duality, not good versus evil, but the balance between opposing forces, chaos and order, will and destiny, death and rebirth. To the initiated, this creature was a reminder that true wisdom lies not in choosing a side, but in holding both in perfect tension. As the ancients would whisper, the serpent coils, the eagle soars. But the truth walks between them. As centuries passed, the symbol migrated east and west, woven into the regal crests of the Hittite Empire, then adopted by Byzantium as a sign of divine rule. In Constantinople, the two eagle heads no longer guarded the sun, but now represented the empire's earthly and spiritual authority. Church and state. Sword and scripture. But even this was only a fragment of the mystery. Hidden within the wings of this eagle is a deeper current, a current that would later be tapped by the alchemists, the Hermeticists, and the secret societies of Europe who remembered its true origin. They knew, the eagle did not only look in two directions. It saw beyond time. Masonic adoption and esoteric interpretation. When the double-headed eagle found its way into Freemasonry, it did not do so by chance. It arrived like an old ghost returning to a familiar house, quietly, but with great purpose. Among the highest degrees of the Scottish Rite, specifically the 32nd and 33rd degrees, the eagle stands as the sovereign emblem. Crowned, majestic, and ever-watching, it perches atop Masonic banners as if guarding a secret too profound to speak aloud. But why this symbol? Why the double gaze? To the Masonic initiate, the eagle is not merely a decorative crest, it is a cipher. A living glyph that speaks to those who can see beyond the veil. In the esoteric teachings of the Lodge, the two heads represent the master of duality, he who has reconciled the inner and outer worlds, the spiritual and the material, the microcosm and the macrocosm. Just as the alchemist seeks to transmute base metal into gold, the initiate seeks to transmute the divided self into the unified being. The eagle, with its dual vision, symbolizes this final stage of awakening, the one who sees both the illusion and the truth, and understands that they are made of the same light. The crown atop its heads is not a sign of dominion over others, but over self. It is the sovereignty of the awakened spirit, one who has died many symbolic deaths, and returned each time with a deeper fragment of the eternal mystery. And here's the hidden truth that few dare to speak aloud. The double-headed eagle is not just a symbol you wear. It is a being you become. It is the moment when your inner opposites, your fears and your desires, your doubts and your certainties, merge into a single, clear-eyed awareness. From this place, you no longer seek power, because you have become it. Not over others, but over your own destiny. This is what the ancients knew. This is why the eagle reappears again and again, age after age, draped in the regalia of kings and mystics alike. Because it speaks not to history, but to initiation. The spiritual and psychological symbolism. Look closely, this eagle is not perched on a throne, it is perched within you. Because beyond the historical, beyond the ritualistic, the double-headed eagle is a psychological mirror. A spiritual archetype. A map of the human soul as it struggles to awaken from sleep. The two heads. They are your divided awareness. One looks outward, into the world of form, identity, ambition, and distraction. The other looks inward, toward the formless, the unknown, the silent witness behind your thoughts. This is the eternal tension, the part of you that clings to what is, and the part of you that yearns for what could be. But here's the secret most never learn, you are not either head. You are the space between them. The still point. The axis around which the eagle turns. In Jungian terms, the eagle represents the self, fully individuated, no longer enslaved by the warring opposites of the unconscious mind. It has integrated the shadow, faced the mirror, and emerged whole. It flies not in the sky of the world, but in the vast expanse of inner knowing. To walk the path of the eagle is to become a master of perception. To see beyond duality without rejecting it. To understand that darkness has its place just as light does, and that your power lies not in choosing a side, but in holding both with grace. When you meditate on the double-headed eagle, ask yourself, which part of me do I deny? Which voice do I silence? Which direction have I refused to look? For the eagle sees what you are afraid to face. And only by facing it, do you finally take flight. Practical application, how to work with the symbol. Symbols are not meant to be worshipped, they are meant to be used. The double-headed eagle, like any true esoteric sigil, is a tool of awakening. It holds no power unless you bring it to life within your own inner temple. So how do you begin? First, contemplation. Sit with the symbol. Gaze upon it not with your rational mind, but with your intuitive sense. Let your eyes soften. Ask the image to speak to you, not in words, but in impressions. Emotions. Memories. Place it where you meditate, or draw it into your journal. As you observe it, ask, where in my life am I divided? What opposing truths do I need to hold in harmony? You may be surprised at what surfaces. Second, dream work. Before sleep, place the image near your bed or visualize it vividly in your mind's eye. Ask your subconscious to reveal the parts of you that each head represents. What do they want? What do they fear? In dreams, symbols become fluid, and the eagle may reveal itself in unexpected ways, as a mentor, a challenge, or a forgotten version of yourself. Third, embodiment. Throughout the day, practice dual awareness. When you find yourself caught in judgment, pause. Imagine one eagle head observing the world, the other watching your inner response. In that moment, become the center, the one who sees both. You'll find that clarity arises not by reacting, but by witnessing. Finally, ritual. If you feel called, create a simple ritual. Light 2 candles, one representing your outer world, the other your inner self. Between them, place the eagle symbol. Speak aloud your intention to unite what has long been separate. This act need not be elaborate. What matters is sincerity, and the courage to see yourself fully. Because ultimately, working with the double-headed eagle is not about gaining power, it's about recovering your wholeness. And once you do, you'll see the world through very different eyes. The call to inner sovereignty. In a world obsessed with one truth or the other, the double-headed eagle reminds us that wisdom is not found in extremes, but in the space between them. This is the forgotten path. The middle way. The alchemical union of opposites. And those who walk it, become something more than merely human. You see, the eagle is not here to promise you safety. It is not a guardian of comfort or control. It is a sentinel of truth, truth that cuts through illusion, even the illusions we hold most dear. The crown it wears? It is not given. It is earned, through deep inner work, relentless self-honesty, and the sacred art of integration. You were never meant to live as half a being. You were never meant to choose between your shadow and your light, between your intellect and your intuition, between the divine and the human. You were meant to become the bridge. The sovereign. The one who sees with both eyes. So now, the choice is yours. Will you continue looking outward for symbols to follow? Or will you realize that the eagle has been watching you all along, waiting for you to remember who you are? Because once you do, you will no longer follow the path. You will become it. Truth isn't found. It's remembered. Like this video, subscribe to the Hidden of Temple Keys, and reclaim the wisdom that was always yours.